In May 2005 and in October 2009, Dr. James R. Conner chaired 2 expert roundtable meetings that brought together leading researchers from around the world in the field of copper and Alzheimer's disease.
There are many uncertainties about Alzheimer's disease, and certainly the role of copper is one of them. At a roundtable meeting that we held recently, it became clear that the copper in the environment, diet, or even in the drinking water is not a risk factor for developing Alzheimer's disease. Dr. Bayer and Dr. Mothop conducted the first double-blind, placebo-controlled human trial on copper in early-stage Alzheimer's disease patients. Through this research that they performed in Germany, they conclusively demonstrated that copper does not cause or even worsen the symptoms of Alzheimer's disease.
There's more evidence that copper deficiency occurs in Alzheimer's disease than the likelihood of being exposed to copper causing the disease.
It can't be emphasized enough that copper is indeed essential for many brain functions. And even today, new functions of copper are still being discovered. Another crucial aspect about copper in the brain is proper balance. A deficiency or an excess of copper in the brain can both have detrimental neurological consequences. We're finding that in Alzheimer's patients, and even in our elderly population in general, copper deficiency is a very important concern.
I think what's been assembled, though, over the last few years is a building case that actually it may be low copper as opposed to copper excess that contributes to the progression of this disease. But independent of that, I think what I was found most excited at this meeting was the discussion of the recent clinical data, which suggests that on top of what a person gets in a normal diet, additional copper did not cause any harm, did not give any risks. I think this is reassuring for those of us who are trying to argue that it's copper deficiency we have to worry about. This gives great comfort.
With regard to copper in the brain of the Alzheimer's patients, it's not necessarily a matter of too much or too little copper, but more importantly, whether or not the brain can even access the copper that is present. In the brains of Alzheimer's patients, the copper gets bound up inside these sticky, viscous plaques so that the copper is not really available to the neurons or the brain cells that need it. Neurons need copper to generate the energy to function at their optimal level. So, if there's a deposit of copper sitting next to the neuron, that neuron cannot get it, then that neuron's actually copper deficient, even though there might be elevated levels of copper in the brain.
First off, you have to accept the fact this is an essential nutrient. It's really good for you. And second off, if you're going to do something, say, like take a supplement, many national institutions, such as the Institute of Medicine in the United States, recommend that you should have copper in that supplement along with the other micronutrients, so it's balanced. Because ultimately, that's what your body needs.
Alzheimer's is an extraordinarily complex disease. Based on the data, we've come to the consensus that copper doesn't cause Alzheimer's disease. Indeed, it might even be beneficial.